What a day, those beautiful blue boys. Slapping up Tottenham Hotspur yet again. We've beaten Ange Postecoglou's, easy for me to say, his Tottenham Hotspur 4 times now. Lovely stuff. Just the tonic as well when things aren't necessarily going too well. Tottenham will always be there to help you. And they'll be there to salve the wounds. And that they did at Stamford Bridge. We're going into the run-in now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to speak a little bit about, I suppose the run-in, but also preview the Brentford game. Maresca's spoken already. I guess he did like a hybrid press conference yesterday when he spoke ahead of the West London derby now, which is going to be tough. Brentford are the no-mugs, man, and they have demonstrated good form at home before. It's in many ways going to be harder than Tottenham. Tottenham are a lot easier to play against, which is just funny. It's funny. And the league table will dictate that as well, guys. Like, you know, in terms of where both teams are respectively. Let's have a quick look. Chelsea are in 4th place with 52 points. A point ahead of Man City. 2 ahead of Newcastle, but Newcastle have a game in hand. Let's hope they do not win it. That they draw or lose, maybe. It's all tight up there, basically. I'll show you it now. This is the league table. As it stands, Liverpool going to win the league. Arsenal's locked in. Forest are locked in. It's Chelsea, City, Newcastle, and kind of even down to Brighton in 8th. You know, we're only 5 points ahead of Brighton in 8th. It's tough out here, man. Brentford, of course, are mid-table. Very good for them, sort of thing. You know, pretty darn positive. There are a few places above Tottenham who we just beat, so they will fancy their chances at home. Especially though, like, I'm very pleased with the win. If you haven't watched my match review, go watch it, because I really assess the game, how it went, and how I'm so pleased that, this young Chelsea team demonstrated that they are able to grind out a result and defend a lead. Really, really, really important. They've shown that it can do it. Now we need a little bit of rotation. We're going to talk about the Brentford game, how they play, and who we will play. And like I said, Maresca's already confirmed that the likes of Wesley Fofana and Romeo Lavia are both out injured. Lavia, they both got muscular problems. Lavia will be back before Fofana. Neither will be available for this game. We can talk about this till the cows come home. Both really good, positive, influential players. But, you know, at some point, you're going to have the discussion. Like, what do you do with these guys if they're never available? But then again, we were having that discussion with Reece James, and seemingly they've... Touch frickin' wood, bro. They've sorted out the Reece James scenario, problem, the injury issues, or at least road-mapped how we're going to be okay with him. And, of course, they took him off the bench against Spurs. He's been used sparingly, intelligently. And, dare I say... Finally, the medical team has got it right with Reece James, hopefully. So we're going to get into all of that. Guys, thank you so much for joining me as always. I'll urge you to support the content if you want to. If you choose to, you just like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. By the way, many of you may or may not have seen Esteban Willian scored yet again yesterday, and I think the Brazilian Cup in a 3-2 win for Palmeiras. So his goal was integral, was the opener. Maybe not the wonder goals that we're used to him scoring, but that's what you want. You want players that can score, you know, dirty, scrappy, sniffer goals, as well as superstar golazos. And very pleased. Every time you see Esteban Willian score, you go, it's fun. He'll be with us in a matter of weeks. Now, I know he's with Palmeiras at the Club World Cup, so it'll be a little while, actually, until we properly see him. Very, very exciting indeed, though. I'm just going to pause to get some water. Right, so the run-in is here. It's so important, man. It's going to be tough. The last few games are going to be super tough. I'm hoping we find a bit more momentum and form for the end, the harder fixtures, like maybe by then... Palmer will be cooking a bit more. He did look a lot better, actually. And I just think, even if he wasn't particularly linking up with Jackson so much more in that game against Tottenham, and Jackson had an important game in terms of the optics, the eye test, maybe not statistically, but just how he played. And genuinely, I do believe this. I think just him being there makes Cole Palmer better. Even if he's not directly linking up with him, I don't necessarily think, or don't know if they're really good friends off the pitch. But obviously they have a great understanding and chemistry on the pitch. And even if they're not directly linking up, I think Palmer, just knowing he's there, he plays better because he knows certain spaces will be occupied, even if he's not trying to link up with him directly. He knows certain runs will be made. And I think he just likes having him on the pitch, personally. So I think I'm really hoping Palmer can just turn it on for the final run-in. And, when we play the Nottingham Forests and the Liverpools, we've got a chance of getting a result, Obviously, lots of worried Chelsea fans are like, we've got to get the points now and, get it done. But I think we can get to a point where we back ourselves against good teams at the end of the season. In fact, let's just, while I've got you here, let's just look at the remaining Chelsea fixtures, shall we? So, of course, we play Brentford this Sunday. And this is the game we're going to preview in just a moment. And of course, I'll do a video tomorrow, a Chelsea news video, unrelated. We got the Legia Warsaw game away on the Thursday. So that is in 6 days' time. There's a lot of games, bro. They're coming thick and fast. Then we got Ipswich at home. Ipswich themselves coming off a win. So they're finding a little bit of form just in time for the Chelsea. But, you got to beat Ipswich at home if you want to stay in the Prem. And then the home tie against Legia. And then we're away at Fulham. The Fulham derby away at their gaff. They have been a lot better, but they've also, they got slapped 3-0 in the cup by Palace. So, we could win that. Chelsea at home against Everton. It's not Goodison Park. It is a 12:30 kickoff, but we can, we can beat Everton. I think maybe they might relax a little bit. They're definitely nowhere near relegation. They're nowhere near qualification for Europe. New manager bounce has chilled a little bit. Again, like you'd hope, Brewer can't play, who, by the way, has looked like he can play football again. We'll be there. And then we're at home to Liverpool. In the 4th of May, they might have the league wrapped up. Maybe. And because they're not in any FA Cup finals or Champions League finals, their season will be done. I'm not saying these are reasons we're going to beat them. The actual in the final 3 games, we've got Newcastle, United, and Forest. We've got United at home, but actually, the job can be done through the Newcastle and Forest games. They're both away, so and against great atmospheres. The final day of the season, Forest will be having a party, I think. So the atmosphere will be great, and maybe that'll be tough. But again, I think Forest might be, by the final game of the season, they might have just qualified for the Champions League, so it might just be a bit of fun. Of course, we're a few points behind, so we'll have more to play for. It's maybe speculating, projecting. Really, for me, the big important game that I'm circling there is Newcastle away on the 10th of May, because that is the game. Because there's a good chance Man City will keep winning and, get top 5. But one of Man City, Newcastle, and Chelsea is going to miss out, in my opinion. I don't think Villa and Brighton will do it. Maybe they do, but, in terms of 3 into 2, I think it's Newcastle, Chelsea, and City. The fact that we play Newcastle is an opportunity to really, that's the game. And of course, Man United at home, Amorim's Man United, they have this weird tendency to turn up every now and again, so you just don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully we slap them, and that's a 3 p.m. So I don't look at these games freaking out. Yeah, we're not expected to win the Liverpool game, but like I said, if they've won the league, bro, because how many games are there after? 1, 2... There are 3 games after. You don't know what Arsenal are going to do. If Arsenal slip up, they might have, won the league, basically. I don't know. It's possible. So we'll see what happens there. But we're going to play Brentford, and I want to talk about this, the game right in front of us. So this is Brentford's last game out. They played at home against Villa. Villa did get the win. Yeah. They did get the win from an Ollie Watkins goal early in the second half. But Brentford, they looked pretty dominant in terms of 60% possession, which of course Unai Emery won't care too much. They had 13 shots still. They gave them a good game. The Brentford lineup was like this. Damsgaard's back now, and he's a very important player for them. I mean, they've got good players, bro. Of course, Johan Visser and Burma are really dangerous. Damsgaard's really good. Sharda's coming through, the young forward. Very, very good indeed. Just good, solid team. They'll be canny. They'll be intelligent. They won't be mugs when dealing with Chelsea. And we've got to be very, very careful and really, really respect Brentford. Big time. Big time. So let's build a lineup, shall we? Now, this is going to be fun. Now, even though we've got this Europa League game and this Europa League conference game, and it is important, I've been like very clear. I want to win it. I think it would be really bad if we don't win it, and I want this young team, to just feel what lifting a trophy feels like, and it will, that's addictive. Winning, if anything, it's perfect. People can laugh at us, go, "Oh, it's a plastic conference league." Yeah, we've won all the others, mate, and it's the only one we haven't won. So let's get it done. Let's see Reece James with the band on, the captain's armband, lift the trophy, them celebrate. This is fun with the Chelsea fans. We've won a trophy. Let's try this again. Let's do different trophies. That's the thing with this Arsenal team. Mikel Arteta, he did win the FA Cup, but it was Unai Emery's team. It was like Aubameyang and Lacazette's and, all these players, and like David Luiz's and all these players that have gone now. His Arsenal team, his young Arsenal team, excuse me, they haven't won a trophy. So I think it's a good opportunity, and I do want to take it quite seriously. I do think we can rotate. Like, I do trust the likes of, Joshua Champong, Tyreek George, etc. against Legia Warsaw. But we've got to prioritise the league, because we're there, we're amongst it, and it's just worth so much more money. I know if you win the conference, you qualify for Europa, but the money's so different in the Champions League, and we're in such a precarious position for two reasons. One, alluring a big striker, Champions League or no Champions League, and probably being able to offer him a little bit more money, knowing we're starting in the Champions League in his contract. And probably more importantly, the front of shirt sponsor. We've like Matt Law explained on the London is Blue podcast that one of the reasons he speculated that we've not really gone in fully to just get a sponsor no matter what, even a placeholder, is because of the Club World Cup. So I've got hay fever as well as a cold, so I'm really struggling. But so that money we'll get from the Club World Cup has been like, wow, this is an extraordinary circumstance. We can afford not to, sign a silly deal. But they will want to sign a long-term deal, like a 5-year deal with a front of shirt sponsor in the summer, and you do that when you know you're in the Champions League the next season. Then you're like, not only are we in the Champions League next season, we're going to bring in better players because of it, and we're going to stay in the Champions League. Your product, your company on our shirt is going to be on the biggest European stage for the next 5 years. Therefore, you pay 60 million quid a year. Yeah, it's important. So therefore, we got to really go hard in the league while we can still do it. Now, let's try and build this together, guys. It will be Rob Sanchez, and to his credit, he did make an excellent save in the Tottenham game. And again, these players had a long time off. They should be able to go again and keep playing. Cucurella, we played at home. We're not travelling far. We're going to a West London club again, so it's a West London derby. No travelling fatigue in a bus or whatever. So Cucurella, and actually, I do think the same centre-backs. Genuinely, left foot Cole there, Chalobah look really good. People might be saying Tosin, and I'd understand that. But I think it could be Tosin and Badiashile for the Europa League. Tosin right centre-back, Badiashile left foot to left centre-back. So I'm going to go pretty much the same. I think, especially Gusto did play really well. We've criticised him rightly this season, but against Tottenham, he was really, really good. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky, because I do want to get Reece James into there. I think perhaps it's so tough, isn't it? Like, Jackson's going to play no matter what. He might come off, with 30 minutes to go, like Nkunku as well. Like, what's happening with that guy? I'm going to go Neto, left wing. I'm going to give Madueke a start on the right wing. A lot of people will be shouting for Tyreek George, and he has been trusted in the Prem, and I hear you, but I think he's going to get serious European knockout minutes in what are important games for Chelsea. So it's tough. Now, it's tricky here, because obviously Cole Palmer, especially now he's found some form again, Has got to start. He's just, and he's good to go. He was gutted to come off in stoppage time, which tells you everything you need to know. And then you think Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, which I guess it's just the same apart from maybe starting Madueke over Sancho. I just wonder if they try and get Reece James in there. But, he's been seen as a midfielder, unless he plays as a hybrid inverting right back, which we've seen. There is a chance. I mean, you can't not... Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo are just both playing so well. And like I said, the fact how this is such an important game, I see this happening. And the fact how you can bring off the bench a Reece James for Caicedo, I think, personally, rest Caicedo. And then, or even, and to be honest, like even Dewsbury Hall came and looked pretty good for Fernandez playing in that role. You can make this similar subs. And then you give Sancho a go off the bench as well. I can see like a bit of rotation there, like a very, very similar, provided the players aren't red zoning and everyone's comfortable. I can see something very, very similar, except maybe Sancho not starting. Did all right. I don't necessarily find it. I think it's a bit pointless just hating on him when he actually had a couple of good moments, and he can be useful. But that's what I see for the moment. And maybe I do genuinely think they're taking Tariq George and Achampong to the side and being like, watch some videos of, the Legia Warsaw right back for a bit. Get your head in the game for that because you are going to be the starting left winger, mate. I'd love for him to feature in this game, but I do wonder if he's really prepping significant, important players for those kind of games as well. Maybe Matissa Mugu as well, which would be really interesting. It would be really, really interesting to preview those games and analyse those results. I do think Chelsea, it's away at Brentford. Brentford are kind of in no man's land again, but they can have a really good home atmosphere. They had a really good home record. They've gone off the boil a little bit, but and they will love to ruin Chelsea's party because we're not like some meh team with like playing with nothing to lose. We're playing with a lot to lose. So they would love to ruin it. I'm going to just back Chelsea to win. And it will be a massive win. I'm not saying massive scoreline. A win against Brentford away would be massive in terms of what they're capable of. And how we've been fragile, But beat Tottenham. Done the double over Tottenham. Kept that clean sheet. Again, for me, the 3 points is everything, of course. But the underlying thing for me is showing that they can just see out a game and defend and change the tactics, play long ball, go to a back five. That's what I want to see from Maresca. He might be this generally philosophical, dogmatic coach that wants to play in a certain way, and that's how we see sustained success at the top end of football. Fine. I'm happy for it. If it works, I'm totally here for it. But no, you should not have too much pride to be like, let's just turn into an old school Chelsea team in here, dig in and not let the opposition score. And that to me felt like Chelsea. That was we never saw that under Pochettino. Pochettino, I was always terrified. And then, we scored a lot of goals. We found some form at the end of the season. But I never for a second believed that Poch's Chelsea could defend a 1-0 lead. And I don't necessarily feel like that now with Maresca's Chelsea, but I saw it against a strong Tottenham lineup who are the second highest scorers in the league that had every reason to just come and, ruin Chelsea's party. So I feel that's my big positive feeling. I would absolutely rip your hand off for a 1-0 win against Brentford. I'll take whatever now. Getting over the line is massive. And that's how I feel. Let me know how you feel. Please do leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for liking and subscribing to Football Therapy. And as always, I hope to see you back here soon. All right? Peace.